Good evening, good evening, good evening to all of you great folks out there. And a special thank you to all my subscribers and viewers for subscribing and viewing. Please continue to subscribe, like, share, and hit that little button. All right. Um, Before I start off, I would like to thank one of my viewers that has actually he's one that's been encouraging me to actually do this, put these videos out about my own testimony. And I just would like to thank him, my best friend of almost 30 years, Olin. Big O is what we call him, man. So thank you for just being there and pushing me to continue to do this, because these videos are a part of my own testimony. They are not to bash anyone. I give true facts about my own life, and I do not implement anyone's name or anything like that, because you can get in trouble for doing stuff like that. But it's not to bash anybody, all right? So tonight, listen, if you have a significant other, if you have a partner, I don't discriminate at all. If you have a fiance, definitely you need to watch this video, okay? Because I'm about to get real deep and heavy on the marital tip, okay? So I'm gonna call this video right here what it takes to be married, okay? What it takes to be married. Let's see, and I always give a story about my own situation, so you guys know that I don't make any of this stuff up, all right? So here it goes. All right, I've been married twice, okay? I can take stuff from my first marriage versus my second marriage. I can say that in my first marriage, I believe that we married for all the right reasons. I can honestly say that. We were young, and we were still trying to find ourselves. I can honestly say that too. She was still in college and really trying to pursue for her master's degree. And I was working and she was working too. So we were running in and out, not really spending that much time together right after marriage, which was one of the worst things for both of us, because it gave that time and that space to actually, do other things. I'm just gonna put it like that, and y'all probably know where I'm going at with that. All right. In my second marriage, we married. I can say that I married for love. I can't speak for the other person, because, whatever it was, it was. You know what I mean? I can say that I used to tell people, because they asked me, why did you get married right after you got divorced? And I said, because I was caught, with everything that I was doing out in the public eyes. With my second wife, I can honestly say that she held me accountable for all my actions. So I couldn't do anything. She held me accountable for all my actions. And she challenged me on that. And that's where the love came in at. I said to myself, I gotta have this woman, because if I don't have her, then I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do anything. Which brings me to my point. Okay? When you marry somebody, one of the things that you guys have to recognize is this is a person that is going to keep you held accountable for the rest of your life. okay? For anything that you do. And accountability is what we need in our life. You know, when you're not married, you're out, you're doing whatever you want, anything can happen. You know, you don't have anybody saying that, yo, you can't do that, or you shouldn't say that, or anything like that. So you're wild, you're free. And marriage actually tames that wildness in you. You have that person that is going to be on your side to let you know what's right and what's wrong. And we all need that. Actually, God designed for us to be married. You're really not supposed to be out here doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing. You know, we all say that we want to be single and mingle. Well, guess what? You can single and be mingle, but guess what? You're fornicating. It's in the Bible. That's exactly what it is. So marriage is a symbol of love and trust, but it also keeps you held accountable for each action. All right, now I want to say about maybe a week or two ago, I was on the phone with my aunt, which is my mom's sister. And one of the things that we talked about was what keeps a marriage together. And I'm about to take y'all to something that y'all probably didn't know, but it is in the Bible, because it's exactly what seals the deal on the marriage completely and totally. So what she said to me was, what people don't understand is, once the consummation is taken out of the marriage, there is no marriage. That's the big thing that holds everything together. People, you know, if you never notice, or if you ever notice, okay, that when we cheat, it's because something is going on in the bedroom that's not right. And we never take the time to figure it out. Because the same fire that you had, you have to rekindle that fire. Okay? Consummation keeps the marriage together. So either you're going to stimulate the person's mind mentally or physically. One of the things I loved about my aunt's marriage and my mom's marriage is the fact that they love their husbands to death. She recently just cremated her husband. Okay, she had a memorial service and everything for him. That was his wishes. All right. So, the thing is, that type of love don't exist anymore. It doesn't at all. You know, we talking about the boomer age. Okay. Now we the millennials. All right, but the boomer age, it does not exist. That's where it stopped, because y'all all think that y'all all are supposed to get married. Guess what? We think we're supposed to get married for stability. That's what we think. Stability is within the relationship that is between two people. That's what keeps it stable. The love that you have for one another, that's the stableness in the marriage. If you are marrying for stability, you are marrying for the wrong things. Because guess what? That person that have that money, they can lose it one day. That person that has that house, they may lose it one day. And then where is the stability of the love that you have for one another that got the marriage together, that put the union together? Okay? That's where it should be at. You know, there are three types of loves that we are supposed to reciprocate to one another. The most powerful one of all is agape. That's the love that you are supposed to have for one another. That's what keeps the marriage together. That's what sustains the marriage. So if you're marrying for the house, the car, the money, guess what? Baby, you're marrying for all the wrong reasons. I don't need all of that. I want stableness within a relationship. That's what my mom had. That's what my aunt had. They were able to sustain their husbands even while they were on their sick bed. So mentally, They were consummating each other. You don't have to physically always, stimulate each other. It doesn't have to happen like that. You can stimulate someone's mind mentally. You can make love to someone without even touching them. It can be done. I've done it myself before. Okay? And that's the type of love that we are supposed to show each other. That's the consummation that holds the marriage together. So when you're not consummating, what happens? It gives room and it leaves room for other people to come in. So you at your job and somebody said, "Ooh, look at you, looking good, you got a sharp haircut. Oh, you smelling good. Where you going at tonight?" Okay. Because everything ain't right at home, you giving that some thought. All right, let's keep it real here. All right, and for you ladies, he tell you, "Hey, baby, yeah, I like that. I like that. That really, girl." Because everything ain't right, it's getting in here. And it's allowing you to say, "Oh, I don't hear it at home, so I'm going to go that way. I'm not getting it at home, so I'm going to go that way." The consummation of the marriage is out of the situation. Okay? I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to come back because I got something else to say. What you guys don't understand is when you take the consummation out of it and then you're doing everything else. So you know what you're thinking about? Oh, well, maybe the grass will be greener on the other side. So I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to leave my husband or my wife alone. I don't need them. They messing up my flow. So now what happens? You messed up the marriage. You messed up the family. You messed up the built up relationships that you built up within that marriage. So who gets affected? If you have kids, they definitely gonna get affected. Personally, I seen my baby girl go through a mental thing because of what was going on with my ex-wife and myself. She went through a mental thing, and I had no control over it. It was nothing. Everything was out of my hands. I couldn't control anything at all. When it was done, and I had to accept it. That was it. So I watched her go through that. So the kids get hurt. The in-laws. If you built relationships within that marriage, then that's gone. Because now people taking sides. Okay? See, they forgot that they were sitting right there at that ceremony when that union was made. And they made that promise to both of those people that they would be a part of both of their lives. But somehow, when that happens, that's my people's. That's my people. I'm going to look out for my people's. It don't work like that. If you come in that marriage ceremony and you sitting right there and you are a part of what's going on, guess what? You are held responsible for that marriage breaking apart. And I know you're saying like, how? Why? Because you were a part of that union when that pastor asked everybody if you were there and are you going to be a part of this? And you said yes. Anybody who uses a pastor or a minister, whatever, you are making those vows to God in front of that man. So now he's a part of that marriage too when it breaks apart. Then how is he affected? Because he's responsible for keeping that marriage together. Or people going to say, oh, he just marrying people and they getting divorces and things like that. They talk about him too. You just discredited his name or her name, and they did you a favor. You're not thinking about all of this. One thing, I tell you this, I got emotional about it. Just talking about it. Actually yesterday. But one thing I had to realize is when I get married again, because I want to be married. I desire to be married. My mom won't be there. I won't have any of my parents there. I had to realize that, and I got so emotional because I said, what could I do? Everything was out of my hands. But this time around, my mom won't be there. And I have to live with that. No parents of mine will be there. And see, we don't think about stuff like that when we give up a marriage. Sorry, y'all. For everybody that don't know, my mom recently passed back in January of this year. So I'm still dealing with that emotionally inside. So when I think about stuff like this, marriage and everything, and the fact that I had a chance to have her at my last wedding, and then the marriage ended the way that it did, that was a total embarrassment to me and my family. But people don't realize that. They do what they want to do and say what they want to say, and they make it all about them. They don't realize the lives that get affected after. So what are you saying, Kenton, about all of this? Are you getting married for all the right reasons? You have to sit down and you have to really think about that before you enter into something that is so serious. I was just talking to one of my friends the other day on the phone, and we had a chance to actually, talk for a while. And you know what he kept saying to me? You was right. You was right. Marriage is different than actually living with somebody. Or it's a bigger step. It's a bigger commitment. You are saying that you are held liable for that person for the rest of your life. You are saying that you are responsible for that life for the rest of your life. That's how serious this is. But oh no, some people want to do it for the hype. Oh, we getting married, we're going to have this big wedding, it's going to be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, I'm going to have all the bridesmaids and, groomsmen and everything, and then 6 months go by, a year goes by. How that couple doing now? Are they still in love? Are they following the pattern and the notes and things that they took down that the pastor gave them in marriage counseling? Are they using them? Because I got to be real. We got some good counseling the first time around in my first marriage. And we had notes and everything. And I'm going to be honest, we did not use them. We didn't. Okay? So that was something that was on our part. Seriously. Even though things happened the way that they did in my first marriage, we had enough love to always hold it together. It was one thing that tore it apart, and that was on my decision because I decided to do it. And I can admit that. And for that broke the marriage. But other than that, anything else we did, we always rekindled it. It's okay. Let me tell y'all, it is okay to fall in and out of love with one another. It's okay. All right? The thing that you have to remember is, what are you going to do to keep that fire burning and to restart it again? What are you going to do? Because you can't run away from it. Keep in mind, you just made those vows in front of family and friends, but most of all, in front of God himself, which means it ain't your husband, it ain't about those people, it ain't about your wife, it ain't about those people, it's about you and God. And if God don't say, you don't do. You know, I got about 5 or 10 minutes left, and I'm about to give y'all something that's real deep. Guess what, y'all? You ready for this? Divorce don't exist. It does not exist. It's against God's orders. The only reason why divorce even exists at all is because this, I don't even want to say, but let's just say that fool Moses. Moses hardened his heart, okay? And he went against what God's words was. And he decided, he gave that law of divorce. This was not God's words. That's the only reason why it exists. Go in the Bible and read it for yourself. God ain't said nothing about divorce. So stop it. It don't exist at all. Okay? It is not a part of God's order. When you get married and that minister, pastor, whoever marries you under God's holy ordinance, guess what? Those are God's holy ordinance. He is saying that that marriage needs to sustain and stay together forever. That's it. Okay? So I'm telling all of you guys that are thinking about marriage, okay, if you're thinking about it, take some time and really think about what you're about to get yourself into. All right? Versus me in my 20s, because I got married. My first marriage was when I was 23 years old. 23. Do you really think I was ready for marriage? But the love kept it together. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. The love that we have for one another kept it together all those years. All those years. Seriously. So, now, in the second marriage, the love didn't exist. It wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough at all. That was the quickest marriage I've ever seen in my life, and I was a part of it. The love didn't exist at all. I tried to continue to give mine, but it just wasn't enough. What can I say? And I'm not putting nobody down. You know, they did what they had to do for them. Again, did what they had to do for them. For the better of the marriage, you have to do what's best for everybody. And that's why I say don't take this lightly if you're about to enter into this. This is a serious decision, and the most serious decision that you're going to ever make in your life. I'm telling you straight up. So if you ain't ready, don't do it. Because you're taking on everything. You're taking on his, he taking on yours. Alright? That's it. That's it. And keep in mind that don't get married if you ain't got no love. The love ain't in it. Please don't marry. If you are admiring that woman because, wow, she got a good job, or this and that, guess what? That marriage definitely ain't gonna work. Alright? We done seen superstars and wondering why their marriages ain't working. They got money. Think about it, y'all. No love. Alright? That's the truth. Like, I can't make this up. Y'all are actually seeing this. Okay? If you see him with all the glamour and all of this, and he got this, he got that, it's cool. It's cool to have that. I told myself that, when I married my third wife, guess what? I'm definitely going to make sure she got a check and a car. Straight up. That's what I told myself. Alright? Because I'm not a rich man. I can't really, do too much. But I'm going to make sure she had that. This way I know that she is stable for a little bit. I know that that's in her account and she got a car. I ain't got to worry about nothing. That's it. Alright? Everything else we're going to work out. You know what I mean? I'm marrying for love. I want to love the person. I want the person to love me. That's what keeps our marriage stable. Alright? That's the stability right there. Alright? And if y'all stop consummating, that's when trouble gonna come into the marriage. Alright? If you get in your mind, women, because y'all do it all the time, he ain't getting this, or really? Okay. What you think is gonna happen if you're not giving it to that person, that man actually? What do you think is gonna happen? And somebody else telling him he look good and they switching around him? It's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you straight up, because we're human. Flesh is weak. It's impossible not to stimulate when you are feeling that way. So please, be mindful of the words that you say to your husband. And men, be mindful of the words that you say to your wife. Oh, you can go out there and get by somebody else. Really? That's what you want to say to your wife? Because guys, I've heard guys say, go be a whore then. Really? Then when it turns out that way, you crying. So, to wrap this up, and I hope that I'm helping y'all out, man. What can I say? I mean, I've had some trials and tribulations of my own, but I've learned from those bumps in the road, which is allowing me to prepare myself for marriage yet again. Man should not be alone. That's what the Bible says. All right? And I don't desire to be alone. God didn't intend that for my life. So I'm not going to be. I refuse it. There is someone for everybody out here, but the person that you think it may be may not be yours. So what do you want to do? Don't just marry that person because you don't want to be alone. You better marry that person if you love them and they love you, and y'all are showing the love, and it's going to outweigh the good and the bad, because you're going to have some bad times. I always tell people your first 5 years are the hardest in your life. I went through it. I'm telling you this. All right? The first 5 is always the hardest, because you're still trying to fill each other out. Those are the woozy doozies. Okay? So if you can get through that, you can get through anything, but you got to have the love first, baby. Got to have that love. And if you ain't marrying that person for love, please step off. Be honest enough with them. I mean, if you're going to be honest and say, listen, you don't make enough money for me, this, and that. Whew, that might hurt. But I had someone that said this to me years ago. Do you want to hurt a little now or a lot later? Think about that. Do you want to hurt a little now or a lot later? That makes sense. And I'd rather hurt a little now. I'll take a back seat and I'll wait till it's my turn. So many people don't do that. I'm now evolving, and God, I mean, for real, where I was at 3 years ago now, I'm not there anymore. God has opened the door for me, an overflow of options. An overflow of options. Only thing I gotta say is, Lord, thank you for giving me this one. Someone that I could love. And I love it. It's one of the best things in the world. And I'm not saying that for you. If you got the person, just make sure you love them. I love y'all. God is love. Keep God first. First of all, thank you again to all my subscribers and viewers, listeners, and everything, man. Like, subscribe. I need that live. All right. I am going to definitely start putting these on Facebook as well. Probably starting next week. These will start going up on Facebook so I can get some viewers and subscribers, man. Like, it, you know what I mean? I hit that 1,000 mark, I'll be good. So keep on, sharing these videos, man. If they're helping you, let me know. I love y'all. God bless.